Hello, everyone. My name is Christian Eschbach, and welcome to another one of my album reviews. Alright, everyone. So, Canadian content time. Death from Above, Heads Up. This is an EP for starters, and interestingly, this predates what I always assumed was Death from Above's first album, which is You're a Woman, I'm a Machine, which I covered. It was an album, I brought notes up here. Album review number 30 was You're a Woman, I'm a Machine, which at the time, even, like I always thought that was like their only album forever. And then all of a sudden one day I stumbled across they had a bunch of other albums that were out. This was one of the albums I stumbled across. And this was all before this is all before Is for Lovers was released, which I covered, which was their most recent album. I did that back August 26, 2001. That was published. That was album review number 120. And then I've also done Physical World in August 13th, 2022. So it's been over a year. I guess it's time to get back to this. Okay, where I'm going with all this is this album predates. This album's from 2002, whereas You're a Woman, I'm a Machine is from 2004. And I had never heard of this, never stumbled across it. Even back then, I couldn't find anything online about it. And then one day I stumbled across it along with The Physical World and one of the other albums that I am blanking on at the moment. And I had to do a little research on this one just because I haven't. And basically, I've got the Wikipedia insert here. Like they recorded it all in a single day, which that makes sense. It's only an EP and it wouldn't take much to do this all on a single day. And yeah, that's kind of it. There really isn't much else about it. So let's get into the music itself. All right, so once again, the album's called Heads Up. Death from Above, 1979. First track is Dead Womb. This is overly fuzzed out punk for the most part. It really gives you a heads up on the album itself, but not necessarily a good one. It's really interesting because I was noticing on Wikipedia that they were mentioning the genre is dance punk or noise rock. Noise rock definitely works for me. Dance punk, I don't know about that so much, but there's definitely a lot of electronic on this. And I do get into this down the line with some of the other songs. So next up is Too Much Love. And I pretty much feel the same way about this song as I did about the last one. It really just kind of, all right, it's there. Then you got Do It Live. This one is definitely a little different. It's more heavily fuzzed out, or it's more than just heavily fuzzed out punk. Sorry, I was reading my notes. Only for a moment. But there's this point in the middle where it definitely goes more electronic sounding. Not quite EDM, but definitely electronic. And this is where I guess it goes with that dance punk thing going on. This song. My Love Is Shared. This is the first song on the album I actually enjoy. There's some real bass playing going on, not just straight eights, replicating a 3-chord progression. This one reminds me of why I fell in love with Death from Above in the first place, because, the bass just had some primo actual riffage going on, not just playing real, yeah. Losing Friends, another one off the album I really enjoy. I think it's a little more basic Death from Above 1979, but that's basic by future albums. So when you look at this as being one of the predecessors, you can't really say it's basic. It was kind of the genesis. So it is really kind of the marker to which all should be compared, right? When you think about it. And then the album finishes off, if we don't make it, we'll fake it. And this is another one I dig too. This one is a little more fuzzed out again, but it's still really kind of fun. It's got a great vibe to it, great feel to it. It's really interesting looking at the back here, okay? The way it's split up. You got the top three, the bottom three, and that's kind of how I look at it. The top three are kind of like, the bottom three are like, yeah. My views, my thoughts, my opinions. This is only an EP, so there's really not a lot to get into in here. If you are into Death from Above, if you've discovered any Death from Above, is this worth buying? If you can find it for the right price, go back, pick it up. Why not? It's not a bad album. I don't know if this was the first album I had heard from Death from Above. I can't say that I might have gotten into them the way I did. But when you compare this to, say, Is for Love, it is a band that does like to stick to their roots to a degree while exploring and moving around a little bit. But there definitely is a Death from Above kind of vibe and sound, so yeah. All right, folks, that's it. I'm done. I'm gonna quit rambling here. As usual, there is a link to Patreon. There's also going to be a link to TWA, which is a new production that I've got going on with some of the local gentlemen. Worth checking out. New segment drops there every Thursday. Outside of that, comments. Let me know what you think of this album. Am I being a little too harsh on this album? Did I rush this album? I don't know. Weird that it took me so long to stumble across this album, man. Tells you something about local music stores, I guess, not carrying more artistic stuff. Anyways, yeah. Hit the like button, the subscribe button, the bell for notifications. Peace, love, take care.